My longtime friend Joey, 33 male, and I, 31 female, work for a horse breeding training facility. The job comes with a nice house on the property that we get to live in for free and have for 6 years. When I say nice, I mean 6 bedrooms, 4 baths, dual master with a pool and hot tub, dated, but it would probably be considered a mansion by some. There are some catches. It basically doubles as a B&B for out-of-town clients, especially during show season. We are expected to do a lot of cooking and entertaining there, but we both love it, which is why we stay here. I don't really date much. I'm more of an independent person by nature and a homebody by nature. Joey is kind of the opposite. He's got a lot of disposable income and he lives the playboy lifestyle when he has time. But our jobs are taxing, so we spend a lot of time just hanging out together at the house, smoking and playing video games. He's my buddy. We spend most of our days together when he isn't on the road. He's upfront about not wanting a relationship with the women he sees, and I do know this. The dude is on like every dating site. The issue is he will occasionally have women he sees regularly, and they sometimes will get the impression things are progressing, and I usually start becoming someone they don't like being around so much and begin to ask why I live there. He's currently seeing 4 different women periodically, 2 of them quite regularly. They know that he doesn't consider it a relationship, but he also doesn't tell them if, when or how many others there are, and avoids that topic with them. Recently one came over, Kelly, 36, and he was finishing up with a client in the barn. I invited her in, got her a drink and invited her to watch TV with me while she waited for him. When we talked, she asked about my relationships and if I planned to move out of Joey's house. I assume she worded it in that way because Joey is the head trainer at the farm, so he is kind of the star of the show. I'm the manager, a much less glamorous position, but I do make more than him. I told her it was both of our houses, not just his, and I don't have any plans to move out. She then said, "It's just weird that at his age he would want a female roommate while he's in a relationship." I said, "He's in a relationship?" Her response was that it wasn't official, but they were. I told her that was news to me. That seemed to offend her, and she said, "Well, maybe you don't know because you aren't the most important woman in his life. He doesn't have to get your permission." I said, "You're right, he doesn't. I actually don't care. I'm just surprised because if I had to rank the chicks he's currently seeing, you are maybe number 2. This obviously didn't go over well and she ended up leaving. She called Joey and things there ended. He told me that he was unaware they were basically in a relationship and said knowing that he's glad it ended. Our other friend and co-worker says it was an idiot thing to say to her. I didn't like her implying that I wasn't welcome in my own home, so I corrected some of her inaccurate beliefs about the situation, and it was the truth. Well, almost. Joey said she was more like number 3. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She thought she could act like the mistress of the house and try to push you out. Great job schooling her. It's hilarious, but kind of sad too. Kelly's 36 and she probably really thought, finally, this is the one. He made good money, lived in a mansion. She could probably quit her job. Poof, now it's all gone. But I have no idea how he manages to have that much energy to entertain that many people. LMAO. And deal with the horses. The horses alone can leave you exhausted at the end of the day. Then add a woman, or 2 or 5. Joey has more stamina than anyone I've seen or heard about in a long time. Also, he needs to change that not looking for anyone serious to just looking for another mare to add to my stable. I think that might make things more clear for any potential Tinder matches. LMAO, well done giving her a reality check. Joey saying she was number 3 sent me into a fit. I couldn't stop laughing. The moment when Kelly realised she wasn't even a side character, but she was acting like the main character. I can't help but think Kelly was like, he doesn't want anything serious, but I can change him. He'll get serious about me, which makes me cackle even more about it. Oh man, I knew a girl whose boyfriend told her that they weren't exclusive and that he's not interested in anything serious. She kept calling him her boyfriend, and then she gets angry when he sees other girls. Tried to make him jealous by sleeping with other men. He didn't give a crap. Then she cries that he broke her heart. Girl, you told me yourself he said he wasn't interested in anything serious. What did you think was going to happen? I, 18 male, used to have a relatively good relationship with my half-brother, 19, even though my dad cheated on my mom with his mom with the excuse that he thought my mom would never be able to provide a child. I never blamed my half-brother for it, and we got along reasonably okay up until I found out he had been sleeping with my then-girlfriend, 18, blocked and haven't talked to him for 4 months now. My cat and my half-brother have the same birthday, So over the past several years, I would attend my half-brother's birthday party in the morning and throw my cat's birthday party afterward. Yesterday, though, I decided to have an early, extra-long party for my cat instead with my mom, aunts and friends. They all adore Claire. I didn't go to my half-brother's birthday, which caused my dad to call and say that I was being a bad brother for not forgiving my half-brother and reconciling. So I told him that my half-brother was the one who betrayed me and that I wasn't interested in conciliation. He asked me if my cat was more important, so I said yes, and that I would always choose my cat over him. Now, I have 3 aunts. All my mom's sisters hate Dad for cheating on her, but one of them said I was a bit too harsh on him. Was I too harsh to my father? Not the idiot, but holy crap, this made me laugh. I love the idea that even on a good day, your brother only gets half your attention because you throw an entire party for your cat. I can't imagine a wound cutting deeper than a cat having a better party than you. Screw that guy, you owe him nothing. And happy birthday to Claire. Your father was a cheat. Of course he would see what your older brother did as not that big a deal. Whatever your father's reason for cheating, a very selfish man from what you've said, and whatever reason your brother gives for sleeping with your girlfriend, such behaviour is not acceptable. Cat birthday or not, choosing not to be around your half-brother or your father after this behaviour is certainly your choice. I would likely feel the same way in your shoes. Enjoy the time with people who really care for you at your cat's birthday party. Yeah, wow. If your half-brother isn't bowing down to you and willingly embarrassing himself in an attempt to apologise for what he did, then it just shows how minuscule he thinks of his actions and how they betrayed your relationship. If this isn't something he has deep shame over, you simply cannot forgive him. You guys aren't acquaintances or friends, you're brothers, and it's not so much about it being your girlfriend. Ultimately, he looked at you and didn't see loyalty or a reason to control himself. If he doesn't realise the magnitude of this, then he should be dead to you. The school's athletic trainer, Beth, is a very strict woman. She started 2 years ago, and at the time I thought she was just being a witch and on a power trip. She wasn't. All she was asking for was his basic respect. This became really apparent when the school had a meeting about her and went through every single incident with her. They use the camera footage for a lot of incidents. Parents know that the office is recorded, and it showed the kids were awful and she was professional. The kids were awful and really ended up having a tantrum when she told them no. Many times the kids called her names, and it really made me re-evaluate my opinion of her. An example for reference is when one kid needed to do a balance test and take off their shoes. She had a fit and refused to do so. The athletic trainer told her that was fine, but they couldn't play without it. So she took off her shoes and called her some lovely names, not to mention the parents getting on her butt for it. Now, my daughter is a sophomore, teen, and she needs to do a concussion test in the winter. If she doesn't, then she can't cheer. She knew about the whole thing and they had a practice for the thing. She gave everyone a specific time to be in her office. My daughter got a time and didn't go in at that time. She went in at the end of practice when she was packing up. Beth told her no, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but my daughter had a massive fit about it. Beth stood her ground on it and went home. Now she's on vacation and my daughter cannot cheer until the concussion test is done. That will probably be done in December, so she's missing many cheer events due to the Thanksgiving fest. My daughter was angry and wanted me to fight the school. I told her no since I saw how she acted. I asked for the footage. That's what she gets for being inconsiderate to Beth. My wife wants to fight it and both of them think I'm a huge jerk. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. These kids sound awful to deal with. I'm glad the school has video footage of Beth's interactions because without it, she might lose her job due to unfounded accusations. These kids need to learn there are consequences for bad behaviour, and being unable to participate when you really want to is a great natural consequence. Wow, I feel bad for this trainer. She sounds like she has a good personality and is good at her job despite challenges. Teen behaviour is definitely different around parents versus in a school environment. It sounds like all those kids are menaces, and some teen selfishness is showing up. It's natural, but that doesn't mean it's right. Talk with your wife about your concerns and hold the line with how you react to bad behaviour from your teen. They put cameras in because the coaches wanted proof she was difficult, but all it showed was the parents, kids and the coaches being awful. The old athletic trainer was super nice, but now I can only think about how she was a pushover. Not a single ounce of respect for her, and I don't blame her for not putting up with any BS. It also is extremely jarring how different daughter acts if we're not around. She would never have done that if either of us were close by. That is such an important lesson. Too many parents feel like they are in the right for unequivocal backing of their child's version. In real life, actions have consequences. In real life, mummy and daddy cannot bail us out. In real life, accountability is a thing. OP, your daughter needs to learn a lesson. This is a teaching moment. It's better for her to learn the lesson now and not later, when the repercussions will surely be harder. I, male 25, and my girlfriend 27 live together, and I own my own house. Recently, my girlfriend invited her mom to visit the city after not seeing her mom for a year. We offered for her to stay at my house in the guest bedroom. The mom isn't in the best financial situation, so my girlfriend figured this would be a great opportunity for her to experience something outside her small hometown. My girlfriend also warned me that her mom was very noisy beforehand. She stayed the past 2 days till I caught her in my home office while I was at work downtown. There's a Ring camera hidden in the office. On the camera, I saw her walk in and snoop around. She went through my file cabinets and looked at sensitive stuff, such as my tax returns, bank statements and other documents. She also attempted to input the passcode on my safe multiple times. Important documents like birth certificates, passports and social security cards, as well as opening my laptop to see if it was unlocked. She didn't take anything but went through it all. When I got home from work, I immediately told her to leave the house because I didn't trust her or appreciate her going through my stuff. I also accused her of potentially stealing stuff because I didn't have cameras in the other parts of the house before kicking her out. My girlfriend didn't appreciate me kicking out her mom, leaving her to sleep in a motel my girlfriend paid for. My girlfriend thought I was exaggerating it even after I showed her the footage. I thought I was valid for my actions. However, my girlfriend told me I was warned about her issues, then also told me it was my fault because I should have locked off that part of the house if I didn't want her going through it. I think I was justified for kicking her out. Not the idiot. Nosy in-laws, you're not married but you know what I mean, are a bane in many relationships. She violated your trust and your space and tried to break into a locked safe. Like, who does that? Tell your girlfriend that her mother's behavior was unacceptable, and her justifying her mother's actions by blaming you is also unacceptable. You know what she was like, I warned you, are not valid arguments. Her mother looked through sensitive information and tried to get into a safe. That's not excusable behavior, that's criminal. If your girlfriend doesn't see her mother's behavior as wrong, it's time to dump her too. It'll only get worse if she can't acknowledge how bad that is. Dude, since your girlfriend's mom is in financial trouble and went looking through your financial information, that's suspicious as heck. It was already bad enough, but I wouldn't doubt she was also fishing for information to manipulate her daughter and you into giving her money. As some have pointed out, make sure your financial info is secure. OMG, he needs to lock his credit. Now. People think that family means something to sociopaths or criminals. It doesn't. Parents steal from their kids. They defraud their kids. They ruin their kids' financial well-being, and they never lose a minute's sleep over it. It sounds like the girlfriend is a first-class enabler. It wouldn't surprise me if her mom had a history of fraud or other kinds of crime, but has been bailed out, possibly literally, or otherwise enabled by people around her. If I were OP, I'd start by changing the locks, locking my credit, preserving the video, and taking out other measures to safeguard myself. If his girlfriend can't be trusted to take it seriously, I'd be reassessing my trust in her as well. My girlfriend of 3 months and I went on a 2-week-long vacation together. The flight back was delayed. We were supposed to land at 9 p.m. and we landed at 10:45 p.m. or so. To get home, I take a train from the airport. It takes under 10 minutes, I'm very close. The last trains were at 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. My girlfriend needs to take a train and a bus. It normally takes her about half an hour, but she told me she would just get a taxi since she feels unsafe in the area where she has to change, and she doesn't want to run after trains and buses. We weren't planning to go to mine and her place because we needed to be at the office the next day, and each of us lives right next to their workplace. Once we landed, I said that once they opened the doors, I would run to the train station to make it to the train at 11 p.m. My girlfriend seemed bothered. She didn't say anything and said everything was fine, but I could tell. It took a long time until they let us out. I didn't run and waited with her until she got a taxi, then waited for my last train for about 10 minutes and went home. Am I the idiot if I had to run for the earlier train, or simply for wanting to do that? This making mountains out of molehills is going to come up a lot more in your relationship. For this scenario, not the idiot. You communicated your timeline and activities and confirmed that she was going to take the safer route. I can understand why you wanted to go home early. She has to consider your well-being too. I'm still saying that you're the idiot because the only thing that kept you by her side is that you missed the 11 p.m. train, and you said to her face that you don't really care about her arriving safely to her place, even though there was another train 30 minutes later and you live very close. I know it's a fresh relationship, but bro, I tell you that she feels hurt and I'm not blaming her. You only cared about yourself. Agreed. You are the idiot, OP, for not picking up on your girlfriend saying she felt afraid at night. At that point, you should have said, I'll walk you to your taxi and then catch the train. Saying you were going to just take off once the doors open was not very thoughtful. What a chivalrous thing to do. Of course that would bother her.